In a world powered by oil, one name stood above all others: Rockefeller. They weren't just rich, they built the system. From the Gilded Age railways to Wall Street towers, their influence ran deeper than money. It reached the roots of modern capitalism. But how did one man rise from humble beginnings to control over 90% of America's oil and create a dynasty that shaped global power for generations? This is the untold story of John D. Rockefeller and the empire that changed the world. Before he was a billionaire, John D. Rockefeller was just a boy from Richford, New York, the son of a snake oil salesman and a deeply religious mother. He learned two things early in life: the power of business, the discipline of faith. At age 16, he took his first job as a bookkeeper. He studied numbers like scripture. Every cent mattered. By 1863, as America burned through the Civil War, Rockefeller found opportunity in a new black gold: oil. He didn't just sell it, he organized it. In an age of chaos, he brought order and monopoly. In 1870, he founded Standard Oil, and within a decade, he controlled nearly every refinery in the nation. Trains, pipelines, shipping routes, all answered to him. Competitors didn't stand a chance. If they refused to sell, Rockefeller would undercut, buy out, or bury them. They called it the trust, a structure so vast it became the blueprint for corporate America. And while critics called him a robber baron, he saw himself as a builder of systems, of wealth, of destiny.
I always tried to turn every disaster into an opportunity. John D. Rockefeller.
By the early 1900s, Rockefeller had become the richest man in the world, worth more than $400 billion in today's value. But power invites enemies. In 1911, the U.S. Supreme Court declared Standard Oil a monopoly and ordered it broken up into 34 companies. Ironically, that decision made Rockefeller even richer. Those fragments became future giants: Exxon, Chevron, Mobil, each one still carrying his DNA. Even after losing, Rockefeller had won. But Rockefeller's true power wasn't just in oil, it was in philanthropy, education, and influence. He built the University of Chicago, Rockefeller Foundation, and funded breakthroughs in medicine, science, and education. His children and grandchildren expanded the empire. John D. Rockefeller Jr. built Rockefeller Center. The family shaped U.S. politics, finance, and philanthropy. They became symbols of elite power, whispered in the same breath as Rothschilds and Morgans. To this day, their fingerprints remain on banks, NGOs, Ivy League institutions, and the very idea of the American dream. How did one man build such lasting control? He believed wealth was a tool, not a treasure, that the future belonged to those who could organize chaos. His empire wasn't built overnight. It was built through discipline, vision, and ruthless precision. In many ways, Rockefeller didn't just build a company, he built modern capitalism itself. And whether you admire him or fear him, his story reminds us: in every age of power, there's one who owns the oil and one who pays the price. The Rockefeller legacy lives on, not just in fortunes, but in the foundations of modern power.